friends, welcome back to my channel. How long has it been?
It's been 84 years.
Yeah, sorry about that. So I am finally back on YouTube, hopefully to be consistent this time. I even got a new setup, new mic, new camera. Hi. I took a very long hiatus from uploading here or doing art in general, and I will talk to you guys a little bit more about that in a sec. But before I do, I am not gonna have you guys listen to me for God knows how many minutes alone. So while I talk to you guys, I'm going to show you the process of this artwork right here that I made recently, and it's the first personal piece that I've done in a year. I just wanted to sit down and talk to you guys because to me, art is not just about the final product. It's about the journey and what you learned during the journey. Also, I could have just showed up and said absolutely nothing about why I've been so inconsistent in the last 4 years, but that would be kind of weird for me. So I wanted to give you guys a life update and at the same time close this chaotic chapter of my life. Also, I want to put a disclaimer out there. We're going to talk about mental health in this video. So if you feel that you're not ready to listen to topics like depression, for example, I understand, and I encourage you to watch any of my other videos. But if you're ready to listen, let's dive in. So the last time that you guys saw me here was last year. I've tried to come back to YouTube a few times since 2020, but if I'm going to be honest, I was not in the right mindset to come back any of those times that I did. I should have given myself the space to just heal and come back when I was ready, but I was putting a lot of pressure on myself and the motivation was not there. Let me explain what happened. In 2020, I went through a couple of very hard personal situations that affected me very deeply. I went through the hardest depression that I've ever gone through, if I'm gonna be 100% honest. And in between all of that, I had to, out of the blue, quit the job that I had at the time because the environment was extremely toxic. I knew that I was not safe there. And luckily, I prepared financially for it because I had a feeling that something was going to happen, and it did. So I quit. Then I launched my online store, which was a very rash and very YOLO decision, and it didn't work. I don't regret launching it because that failure taught me so many things. But in between of all of that, 2021 started. I was running out of money, I was unemployed, and I couldn't find a job. And out of desperation, I decided to launch myself as a full-time freelance designer and focus 100% on design. So I put my art on hold for 3 years because I thought it was what I had to do at the time for some reason. I don't fully regret it because I grew so much as a designer during this time. But what I was not seeing is how lost I felt. My anxiety was through the roof, and I kind of tried to shut down my emotions and act like everything was fine when it wasn't. Art is therapy for me, and because I was bottling up everything that I was feeling, my art suffered for it. I was scared to put my feelings on a canvas and have to look at them in a visual form. I was not ready for it. By the way, before anyone asks, yes, I was going to therapy while all of this was happening. So flashback to 2022, I finally found a job at a publishing agency, which is still my day job to this day. Then 2023 started, and I hate having to say this, but during that year, I worked on some very uninspiring projects and burned out. Then August 2023 came, and one day I was sitting alone in my apartment, and I asked myself, are you happy doing this? Are you happy with the direction that you're taking as a professional? And the answer was no. Then I started to remember the reason why I started doing art in the first place, the reason why I decided to go study design in the first place, and it hit me. I did not realize before that how much everything that happened in 2020 affected me to a point that it had a cripple effect on all aspects of my life. The whole putting art on hold thing was really because my self-esteem was affected so much because of everything that happened that year that I started to isolate myself from all the things that made me happy. And that was a hard pill to swallow and a hard thing to admit to myself because I was a confident person before all of that happened. So for the first time in my career, I decided to take a break from almost everything that I could. I closed my bookings for freelance jobs. I stopped promoting my services. I stopped making content. I needed space to think and to reconnect with myself and all the things that I love to do and to just figure shit out without having so much noise around me. By the way, this is something that I don't recommend to anyone who works freelance 100% unless you prepare, of course. I was able to do it because luckily I have the safety net of having a day job, but I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Economically, this was not a fun time. Regardless, I needed that space and I'm really grateful that I was able to do it. So I decided to become a student once again, and I took some courses on photo manipulation, composition, and matte painting, and I realized something. For a long time, I became comfortable with my skill set as an artist, and I stopped growing. What you need to understand about art in general is that the moment where you feel that you've learned everything that you need to learn, and you don't feel that hunger to continue learning new things, is the moment that you stop growing. And for a long time, I was there. I got comfortable, and it took me going through all of this and some wise words from a really good friend of mine to realize it. Becoming a student was a hard process in the sense that I had to basically deprogram my process in my head and learn it again, but better and more effective, and learn new things along the way. Something else that has helped me heal a lot is that I started to write and make music again. A lot of you don't know this, but I've been a songwriter for most of my life, and that part of myself was not active for many years. So putting my feelings on a piece of paper and giving them rhythm and melody has helped me heal a lot. I still don't understand why I stopped doing it, to be honest. Maybe I just got caught up with life, I don't know. There's something else. I have been dealing with some health changes since last year, and it's been tough because I've had to make some changes with my nutrition and my lifestyle, and it's been weird. I was always a very healthy person. I don't drink nor smoke, nothing. I never really had a very unhealthy diet either. So, yeah. So having to deal with that on top of everything and learning to cope with all of that has been interesting. So after all of that, I am finally back and I'm doing art again, and I feel great. I also relaunched my freelance studio in April, and I changed my niche. I am still doing brand identity design, but now I'm focusing on working with alternative brands because I feel like my design style fits better with those types of brands. But the main focus of my studio now is cover art and design for musicians, bands, and authors. I love working with creative people, so I want to continue doing that. And because I'm a musician as well, I understand how important visuals are in music and how much they both complement each other. And it has always been my dream to work for the bands that I listen to every day and that have inspired me since I was very young. So yeah, I'm going towards that. By the way, my services will still be available to anyone who needs art or design solutions, but my main niche moving forward will be musicians, bands, authors, and alternative brands. And on that note, if you're wondering what's going to happen to this channel, well, we're gonna make a few changes. Things in the creative industry have changed a little since I last uploaded, and while we are still doing Photoshop and design videos, that is a must for this channel, that is never going away, we are going to have a big focus on visuals for musicians. I will do other videos from time to time, depending on what I'm inspired to create, and I might just do artist lifestyle videos, maybe? I've been obsessed with that kind of content lately, and I think it's cool to share with your audience what a normal day is like for an artist or creative professional. Besides, I think it would be really cool to show you guys my studio and to share how I decorate in my studio, because it's really pretty. Just saying. The point is that moving forward, I want to do what inspires me and not put so much pressure on myself and take it a day at a time, if you know what I mean. So it's time. Let's wrap up the artwork and see the final result. If you guys saw this whole video and listened to this whole thing, I thank you from the bottom of my heart, and you're freaking awesome. It's been quite a journey, but I finally feel like I'm in a safe place emotionally where I can come back and share my creativity with you guys once again. Deciding to open up to all of you has not been easy because this is a very personal journey, and I know that not everyone will understand it. Regardless, I know that there's a lot of people who will. And also, my story has two very important lessons. The first one is, if you went through a very difficult situation recently, it's okay to give yourself time and space to heal. Healing is a process, and it can have stages. It could take months. It can take years, and do what you feel is right for you. And the second one is, we have to look at ourselves as forever students. The moment that you stop feeling that hunger to learn more is the moment that you stop growing. So it's important that that hunger never goes away. To all of you who have been sticking around this whole time, thank you so much for every message, for every comment, and for being here. I am excited to be back, and I hope I see you around in the next videos. Until next time, bye!